But let's talk about the National Cathedral now. In the last 2 days or so, we've seen statements from some Board of Trustees and then in response from the Secretariat of the National Cathedral. Now, these two Board of Trustee members, of course, His Excellency, well, not His Excellency, Archbishop Duncan Williams of Action Chapel and Reverend Eastwood Anaba both released a joint statement where they said they had resigned from the Board of Trustees. And that was because they had called for an audit into monies that had been received and spent on the National Cathedral, and that had not been done. Now we've gotten a response from the National Cathedral Secretariat, and they, in fact, are describing this statement as false, the statement that has been put out by the two men of God. In fact, they say that they actually did engage an audit agency, Deloitte, and they officially were to begin the audit, and of course, it was drafted and signed by Deloitte on March 27, 2023. And they set up on their system on March 17, 2023. The expectation was that the first part of the audit was to be completed in July 2023. The audit process so far can be confirmed with the auditors. And then they go on to say that his comments come on the heels of the resignation of Archbishop Duncan Williams as well. So they're saying that despite the current economic climate change and all that, of course, they still decided to part ways with the National Secretariat. But this is what the National Secretariat is saying. First, following the presentation of their resolution to the January 23, 2023 meeting of the board, which the board rejected, but which still found its way to the media, both Archbishop Duncan Williams and Reverend Eastwood Anaba fully participated by Zoom in an emergency meeting the next day, 24 January 2023, to develop a press release on the issue. I'll just jump and say that following this, the engagement letter from Deloitte to officially begin the audit was drafted and signed by Deloitte on March 27, 2023. And then they say that these statements that have been made by both men of God, well, they claim that they have received no information whatsoever on the audit process, and we say it is false. Let me start off with Frances this time around.
So that to get interject.
So no, that's not the reason. I won't let her talk too much.
Oh, she's
I'm not starting with you
money.
not to interject.
She's giving me her water.
Oh, okay. So now you'll calm down. Thank you very much. But would these men of God have any reason to lie? For which reason the Secretariat is now releasing a statement saying that what they said is false?
The Bible says, "Thou shalt not touch my anointed,
and do my prophets no
so
harm."
and do my prophets no harm." You see, when the house of God is in turmoil, by commenters, objectively, I blame all of them in there. Bella, if me, there are some things I won't defend. If the president had a vision when he was the leader of the opposition, I'm talking of MPP in opposition, had a vision, who was the first person he consulted? His Eminence, the Archbishop, Nicholas Duncan Williams. And if I had been consulted as a woman or man of God, I would have said, let us craft this thing within the domains of the Christian fraternity. Because when the mosque, you see the one at Kawukudu, I believe the Turkish government,
yes,
the land may be for Ghana government, fine. But because it is it is a faith worth goal, you know, or project that encompasses or involves the faith of millions of people of the Islamic faith. Did we hear any brouhaha?
No.
They got the land, whatever it was. I believe the Turkish government, Turkey, understand it's not it's
Turkey. Okay.
Turkey came in, and through mobilization from other faith-based sister organizations, I'm talking that let's look at their example.
Yeah.
Wasn't it done? Christians and Muslims, who are the majority, I stand to be corrected. As for me, at all times, I stand to be corrected. Now, look at the cathedrals of the huge churches. I'm not mentioning any name, I beg you.
Okay.
Out of respect. Look at the cathedrals. Look at the churches, universities, schools, business enterprises that most of the churches have put up. I'm not saying it's bad. After all, they pay their taxes if it's commercial. But, Bella, mine is, it's a baby. You, in the first place, should immediately have told the progenitor of the idea, whoever brought up the idea that, Chief, we agree with you, because the visionary had not yet been in government. He said, if God willing, and I get into that position, this is my dream. This is what I want to do to the glory of God. Right? So what advice came from these eminent men of God?
Would he have listened?
No, that's not the issue. Bella, we have not been told that they went against it. So let's be objective, because as for that one, it doesn't come in.
But would he have listened?
No, I listened to Archbishop when they went to Jubilee House, telling the story of how the president brought his dream, his vision to him. And he said it is a good thing. And so he is happy when they were inaugurating the board of trustees. I remember very well. So nobody had ever said they told him not to do it. I'm coming. You are happy. So now, the advisory committee or the advisory board or the board, which consists of very, very eminent religious, faith-based, I'm talking of the Christian faith-based organizations in this country. My sister, when they started the planning, right, who said, government, please don't involve the states? When the state said it was giving seed money, I'm coming, and other people were sort of, the memories were coming up. They never said anything until much later, I think somewhere late last year. And then Bishop
Doug Heward Mills.
Normally they are Archbishop or Bishop Doug Heward Mills came up with something, right? Then Honorable Kujato Ablakwa came up with something. We defended the position of the cathedral and said, we Christians must build it. Some of us were very vehement that the Christians must come together and build it, because you can do something and it will be a national monument. We even posited the Westminster Abbey and so on, where kings and queens are buried, and it's a tourist attraction, getting millions of pounds for UK, and so on and so forth. Look at this Arlington, where the US, they go and do their ceremonial things, and so on and so forth. So we have, look at Champs-Élysées. We have national monuments. We have national edifices. Look at Accra International Conference Center. That's the late former President Rawlings put up. I'm talking of...
Madam, your point being, I'm trying to...
The point I'm making is that edifices are made. But look at the conference center, done with state money for the state and managed by the state.
Because it wasn't a personal promise to God.
That's why I'm coming to. That. That was an edifice of national dimension. You do get my point?
You have a minute
So it is distinct from something which is faith-based. And I'm saying that I blame the Christian faith-based organizations. I'm talking of these eminent personalities. Bella, understand me. This one has debunked. This one has brought out a statement. And I'm saying, I'm not interested, if you understand me, in who said A and who debunked. Because at the very beginning, they had all the opportunity to come up with likely impediments. Because they sleep, fast, dream, and prophecies come to them in abundance. Anaba. So why didn't they pray fast and look unto the Lord to give them direction? And today they are behaving like we politicians. I'll say A, then NDC will say B.
Well, because the politicians told us that we're not going to use state funds. The only thing we're going to provide was state land. And everything else was going to be mobilized by the churches. But let me bring Nana Oyebampo in.
1 minute.
So she can... I've already given you the time, please. Please allow her to come in. I'll come back to you. For the sake of time, please. Let Nana Oyebampo speak.
All I'm saying is that...
Madam.
We the politicians and they, the eminent people, all I'm saying is that who could advise who?
Point made. Point made.
Thank you
now,
very much.
Are you convinced by this statement that has been released to counter what the men of God?
No, I'm not convinced by the statement. We have a cathedral of lies, a cathedral, a symbol of corruption, which is very ironic for a cathedral, and then a stained Cathedral. Now, if you read Archbishop Duncan Williams and Eastwood Anaba, you find out that they first spoke about the several requests for a meeting with the President of Ghana, the several requests they have made, and the President of Ghana failed and refused to meet Archbishop Duncan Williams and Eastwood Anaba Bishop on this issue.
Yeah.
And this is what necessitated the writing of their letter to resign on grounds of integrity and also conscience and their faith. And what were they asking for? Accountability.
Yeah.
The same old problem that the MPP government has. They were asking for an independent accounting firm to audit the public funds that were received, and also for a cessation of activities relating to the construction.
Yeah.
Now, yes, on the 18th, the Secretariat came up with this response and said that the audit was on the agenda. For me, that is neither here nor there. We have had a situation where this cathedral construction has been robbed with a plethora of scandals. Honorable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa has exposed quite a number of them. And there was even a situation where surreptitiously the Minister of Finance, Honorable Ken Oforiatta, slipped in approval for I think 146 or 7 million from state coffers in 2020, and this money was paid. We saw the letter from Frema Opare, Chief of Staff. We also had a situation where a company called, JNS Talents, was paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it was found out that all they had to their name in Ghana was operating a creche, and that the pastor of that JNS Talents, the two directors were actually junior or pastors of this CEO of the Secretariat. The long and short of it is that, like Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa said, this has been the biggest presidential scandal in our history. And I'm happy that a private motion, a motion was tabled in Parliament, and there's going to be a parliamentary inquiry into this totally scandalous, corrupt-ridden venture of one human being's dream.
Okay, please hold on with that. We're told that the military has sent a boat to the Volta region. We want to take a look at exactly what's happening just briefly so we can go back to our conversation on the National Cathedral. And so that is it there. We're not exactly sure. I mean, questions were being asked about the military and whether they had made any appearance in the Volta region. Well, at the moment, and these are live pictures from our New Day team on ground. The military is there. They have a boat. We're yet to see exactly what the plan is, or to know exactly what the plan is. And later we'll cross over again to Na and Roland so they can apprise us on what is happening at the moment. But this is just an update for you. Let's go back to Nana.
So you see, I'm Christian, I'm Catholic. And this is what a cathedral means. We have the Holy Spirit Cathedral.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a symbol of unity, a symbol of faith But what do we have? We have the President of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, attempting to construct a cathedral that is marred in scandal, that is marred in corruption, that is stained, directly conflicting with our biblical truth, directly conflicting with the tenets of Christianity. This must be abandoned. There must be this parliamentary inquiry, investigation, and all monies that were wrongfully, illegally, and unlawfully obtained because of this corrupt, scandalous, stained cathedral must be returned. So I am very happy that there's going to be a parliamentary inquiry. But I also agree with Archbishop Duncan Williams and Reverend Eastwood Anaba that there must be a cessation of activities and an independent accounting firm called in to, so I respect them for their integrity and for their principles and for resigning. And also
for even coming this late?
Yes. Also, Archbishop Dakiwad Mills. Archbishop Dakiwad Mills even spoke about, he had issues with the design of the cathedral. He had issues with the fundraising. He had issues with the role of the trustees. His inputs, his opinions were just trivialized by the Secretariat of the cathedral construction. And so he also honorably resigned.
But is it not coming too late?
It's not too late.
It's not.
At least, even if it is, I mean, it's coming at the end of the year. They have taken a principled stand, and they have decided to resign. Especially when, after repeated requests to see President Nana Akufo-Addo, he just ignored them and he did not see them. So, I mean, I respect them for being consistent and applying their conscience and their faith and their truth, as our Bible states, to resign.
Nanaya, do you think that it came a little too late? And you see, again, they're talking about calling for a cessation of, the National Cathedral project. Now, when you look at the statements from the Secretariat, they are saying that this request to have it ceased is even redundant because at that time, when in January, Archbishop Duncan Williams and Reverend Eastwood Anaba had put out that resolution to have it ceased until an audit is done, there was already a plan for an audit anyway. So that is why they are describing this as false, describing it as redundant, and they've done all this with utmost integrity.
What is false and what is redundant?
The audit is
that's how they described these concerns.
So the audit
they gave reasons as to why it was rejected in January when both men of God had asked for a cessation.
The audit started in March, isn't it? If I could get it right. What month are we in?
We're in November. We're in October.
How many months? Almost 8 months. What kind of audit goes on for 8 months? And on an establishment that is not done. So 8 months. If the audit is still going on, they should bring us some reports. So far, thus far.
They say they will, and the audit is still ongoing. So when they're ready,
8 months, please audit 8 months. So they are going to pay Deloitte and Touche for auditing the whole. There's no structure, just a hole. The most expensive hole in the world, 3 million Ghana cedis. They are auditing a hole for 8 months. How? How is that? How can they audit a hole for 8 months? Then it means that the hole is filled with a lot of rubbish. Yeah, because how can you audit a hole is there? There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it.
But a lot of money has been sunk into it.
So then say 8 months. No report has come out. Then it is just as well that His Eminence Archbishop Duncan Williams has decided to leave. That is why it is coming at this time. Because he has waited for 8 months to see a report. Eastwood Anaba, everybody knows that Reverend Eastwood Anaba. We know him. We know who Archbishop Duncan Williams. They have waited for 8 months to see an audit report, and it is not coming. So why wouldn't they resign? So it is not late because they are waiting, and they said that they are resigning because the public funds that have been put in the intervention. They want to see what the money has been used for. They said public funds. But I don't want to repeat what was said, that they are not going to use public funds. They are not going to use public money. That one is gone. They said it, but they've used public funds. That money could have been used to build ultra-modern dialysis centers. It could have been used to support people with kidney disease. And God would have loved that. Because God loves his people. Christians. God would have loved that. Awesome. Do you get me? Nobody is saying it is wrong for us to have a cathedral. Nobody is saying, I'm a Christian. Initially, when it started, some of us even said that, why don't we get donations from the churches to build it?
That was the plan.
So that government is not encumbered, because we build cathedrals. Do you get me?
Yeah.
The Christian community, we build cathedrals and we build this on our own. From our tithes, from our offerings, from donations, from us. When you come into church, we don't go anywhere to take money from anywhere. We use our own money to build cathedrals. The Action Chapel, it takes how many people? Over 10 to 15,000 people. Kodesh. We have built all over the place. Word Miracle.
Royal House.
Reverend Wengman, East Legon. Beautiful place.
ICGC, yes.
My own church, Calvary Baptist Church. We built a beautiful one. So we Christians, we could build a cathedral. But it should be justifiable. The government, as usual, did not even come to us to ask us that we want you to help us build a cathedral for the nation. It is for the nation.
Bella, Presbyterian Church, Catholic Church have been the biggest.
Please hold on. Please hold on. Please hold on. Please hold on. Okay, we get it, but please.
Because you see, my church, I am a Baptist and I'm a full Baptist. We have the Baptist convention. Never did anybody come to us to say that we want you to contribute to build the cathedral. It was pick and choose. They chose certain denominations. Do you get me? Because which Christian? I have me. I go to churches to go and pray. I go to places to pray. I am a Christian. Never did I hear that certain churches they were there. Even the churches of which the leaders were members of this cathedral secretariat. Did they ever go there?
Pentecost having everybody.
Do you get me? Did they ever go there?
They contributed.
I mean, Christianity, we are big, we are wide. Did they ever? Did they even go to the Christian community? Look, let me tell you something, Bella. I was one of the people who defended a certain position in the Flagstaff. It was about Christian something, diasporan Christian coordinator, something. There was something. I defended because I said that it will be a way for us to reach the Christians in the diaspora to help us build the cathedral. But what has happened? Public funds has been used, plus private ones.
How much?
When we put it together, it's over 300 million Ghana cedis.
No, they use public funds.
Do you get me? They went abroad to do fundraising.
They even asked Ghanaians to contribute.
Some people contributed.
Yes.
There was a text.
Yes.
So when you put it together, public.
Well, the public funds is 80 million.
Do you get me? Public and private together, and we cannot see.
Plus the seed money.
Yes, we cannot even see.
But the parliament refused.
We cannot even see something that has been built. We cannot even see a foundation that has been built. Look, you don't mock God, though. If anybody knew who this God is, you don't mock him. Oh.
Ghana for.
You don't say that you do this for him and you will do something else. Oh. I am telling you, Bella, they don't know what they are joking with. Look, when David the king, in all the Bible, if you read from Genesis down to Revelations, he's the only person God said, you are a man after my own heart. The only human being. No. Even Jesus Christ, God said that my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased. He said the man after my own heart is King David. But when he came to his temple, he told him, your hands are tainted. You will not build my temple. You have blood on your hands. It is your son Solomon who will build my temple.
Yeah.
God does not joke with these things. Bella, you see, try something. Ever donate to church building and you see what God will do for you. I am telling you, I am serious about it.
So then it's not wrong that he made that pledge to God, that I will put out a temple or a cathedral.
Whoever said that was wrong?
Okay.
It wasn't wrong. The space in which he said it has to be defined.
Okay.
Did he go to God and say that if you make me win, Jephthah, I always say Jephthah, when Jephthah went to war and he told God that the first person who meets me, I am going to sacrifice that person to you as God. And the first person who came to him in his victory was his first daughter and only child. So if His Excellency Anaba Duncan said, if you make me win the election and become the president of Ghana, I will build you a cathedral. I will build you a church. He could have even gone to Chebi to build a church that he could have done his own fundraising, his own money together, and built a church in the name of God.
Hey.
That I made a promise to God.
And the Archbishop said,
No, she's just saying that he could have.
Do you get me?
Okay.
But as you, maybe stakeholders, he spoke to stakeholders and they said that, okay, do a cathedral for Ghana.
Okay.
But what has happened? Where is the cathedral? Even the architecture of the cathedral as it was drawn, look at how much money was paid just for the architectural design of the cathedral. When we have architects in this country who are even Christians, who would have been prepared to do it free of charge without payment. Do you get me? Look, we have this man, Ralph Sutherland, one of the finest architects in this country. He's a Christian.
Okay.
No, I'm not talking about a Ghanaian. I am
We have
saying
to wrap
that
up soon, please.
So
please allow Nanaya to
There are a
land.
group of Christians who are architects.
But the architect is a
Do
Christian.
you get
Please
me?
allow her to land.
Who could
We don't
have
have time.
drawn this, put this together nicely without taking a dime?
It's not
It is
true.
called prudence.
It is not true.
They wouldn't, because they know what blessing will
It
come
is
to
not
them. They
true.
would have done it.
It is
Okay.
not true.
They would have done it.
There's
All
no
right.
evidence.
Bella, personally, as
We
a
have to wrap up.
Christian,
Yes.
and I'm sure every Christian in Ghana is pained by this
Bella, you see-
spectacle.
Yes.
Because of
I will
our
let you,
faith.
don't worry, relax.
Because
I said
of
just
our
10
Christian
seconds
faith,
each.
what we believe in, and the
We feel very
symbolism of a cathedral. To think that a president
Okay.
whose personal wish or desire or vision, as a Christian himself, from Rich Church, was to construct a cathedral, and for him to sit aloof and
Allow
see
this to
his
happen.
personal desire and wish marred by scandal,
What is that? What
by
is that?
corruption,
Okay.
by bribery,
We have to go.
and by
I'm not
all
talking
that.
about
It's
that.
the
I'm not
most
talking.
painful thing
All
that
right.
a Christian in Ghana today will bear. It's very
All
so.
right, Madam Francis.
I can really relate to Archbishop Duncan Williams
Okay.
and Reverend Eastwood Anaba resigning.
All right.
They
Francis,
must be
you
very
have the last
pained.
bite. We have
Oh, yeah,
just
have you finished?
we have just
No, I haven't
we have just
finished.
30 seconds to
one,
go.
Just one last
Oh,
thing.
I thought you
about
were done.
Ministry of Health should be part of
Are they
the
not part of
committee.
it?
No, they are not.
Oh, how?
Ministry of
They are
Gender
not.
must
They
be
are,
part
they are.
of it. They are
Well,
not.
I listed. I didn't
Ghana
see
they are
them.
not.
No, I have a list.
Ministry
there.
of Health.
And they are part of.
List.
Okay.
Maybe you don't have the update.
As far as the
Well,
list,
Ministry of
yeah,
Health.
the one I
have
have, I
the updated
probably
list.
don't know.
Ministry of
And then let's think about the
Well, she
relocation
says.
to
In fact,
Sageme.
Okay, all right.
Health
you.
is on, gender too is on.
Okay.
No.
The updated list.
No
There's
problem.
an updated
Yes,
list.
there's an updated
Oh, and now
list.
they are on. Okay, thank you.
And
But
where
They are
are they
before
updated?
Sushre.
Let me first.
Let's-
when was that? Okay, please let her have her last bite so we go. Cathedral bites, please.
The cathedral bites. You see, the hypocrisy, I didn't want to go there, exhibited by Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams.
Hey.
No, please, because the president of the land. No. The president of the land.
You make your point, please.
Is also in a capacity, so no.
Okay.
Give me the democratic rights. It's
Please
not
go
an
ahead.
insult. The hypocrisy exhibited, because I didn't even mention Reverend Eastwood Anaba. Do you know why?
Why?
Because when the president had the dream, the vision, let me put it that way, it was Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams that he conferred with, even in opposition. He himself said, it is not that they said. Now, when they started this thing, look at the time duration. And if you look at the response that has come in, meaning you are aware there's an audit going on. Parliament wants to get into the issue. And I'm saying nobody has given evidence of thefts, of any corrupt practice. You see, we come on air, we talk, impugning things to others.
So Anaba Okudzeto-Ablakwa's
I'm saying
expose
that I'm not talking
is
about.
not,
I said.
okay.
I even said Okudzeto's. What do you call it? Expose. I mentioned it.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is that you see, the house of God divided against itself cannot stand.
All right.
That's why I mentioned the national
Madam,
mosque or whatever.
my time is
and
up.
I am saying, Bella, that Archbishop Nicholas, that when the president told him,
Okay.
did he go and fast over it?
All right, my time is up. We have to go. Thank you so much, Madam Frances
Thank you, my
Isiam
darling.
is the former MD for the Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company. Nanaya Chimpim Jantoa is the General Secretary for the CPP.
And former PUIC.
And Nana Oye Bampo Ado is a former gender, children and social protection minister. She's also a lawyer, by the way. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I think this has been a very interesting discussion.